Hey guys, Liam here with Grow with Liam. And I just wanted to take a quick minute to talk about something that has been coming up a lot in readings, which is people's fear of failure. Now, having a fear of failure in of itself is not intrinsically bad. We're wired predominantly to avoid stressful situations as a means to survive. And so that makes sense. Where it becomes problematic is where we start avoiding or deflecting either situations, people, or unfortunately, possibilities to move forward because we're afraid of the outcome that may happen, or we believe it's more realistic to us that we think that we won't be successful in an endeavor, so we just don't even bother. And what I found largely the case is that people actually will become successful in something. It's just that they have so much belief and so much energy around and so much identity invested in this what if scenario. Um, and so it's really important to start to see what's actually real and what's actually likely to occur and what's really just a projection of our own fears. Of course, when we're caught up in it and we're caught up in the storyline and the narrative of the fear, it's really hard to identify what is real and what's not. Um, and when we're referencing ourselves, we don't usually have that voice of clarity saying like, hey, this is actually just your fear. It's not really real. And that's really why you want to start to get a different perspective, right? What if there isn't, what if it isn't just my mind telling me what is real and what's not real? What if there was another way to actually verify if this is true, right? And so that's really what we do in the reading process. We start to see, okay, is this my energy? Is this actually meaningful to me? Does this make sense? Or are these expectations that have been reinforced throughout my life? Are these fears? Are these insecurities that are maybe being triggered in a specific situation at home, in a circumstance with family or at work, or in my career, or maybe my health? Maybe there's other factors, right? But it's really difficult to know when it's just ourselves referencing ourselves, because we like routine, we like patterns, we love familiarity. So we're usually going to stick to some rote subjects and narratives when addressing ourselves and how we think we are, how we think something is not going to work out for us. So that's really what I want to discuss is that um, fear of failure isn't so much the failure itself as it is all these ancillary energy around it, like, oh, what is other people going to think about me if I fail? Or, oh, if I fail, then I'm never going to succeed in life, or I'm always going to be a loser that everyone's going to laugh at behind my back or roll their eyes, when I try to do something. So all of a sudden it's no longer, it's not so much the fear of failure as it is all these other emotions around the failure, right? That whatever it may be, like we just discussed. And so once you start to unpack that, you can see like, oh, okay, it's not just, I'm not really afraid of failing so much as I'm maybe afraid of not getting the approval of the people that I think I need in order to feel good about myself, right? So now it becomes a self-esteem issue, and it's less about whether or not I succeed or fail in this specific item. And then that really starts to shift the focus internally, right? So now we're about how can I rectify that internal divide in order to feel better about myself. And when we do that, all of a sudden we're changing the goalpost. So it's no longer about, will I fail or succeed in this objective? But it's about how can I start to feel better about what I need to do for myself. And then you'll start to not measure yourself, whether you failed or succeeded or made a mistake or whatever. That's no longer inhibiting you from moving forward, because you start to address what's underneath the failure, what's underneath the fear of failure, right? Which is actually what we're really reacting to, although we oftentimes don't tell ourselves that. And it's not because we're being mean to ourselves. Most of the time it's because we just don't know, right? And that's why it's so important to start to develop those tools to really start to build the awareness so you can be like, oh, actually, um, this is just an energy, right? This is just something that I'm feeling, but it can be healed, it can be released, it can be addressed, and it doesn't have to keep perpetuating and keeping me in this constant state of frustration and feeling like I'm never really moving forward in life. So I just wanted to pop on today just to talk a little bit about what I'm seeing. And I will be sharing more about what I've been seeing show up in our readings together. And if you're interested in connecting with me or getting a reading, definitely reach out to me. I will be posting a link below where you can schedule a free 30-minute call and we can start to talk about maybe some of your fears or whatever issues might be coming up for you and your day. So again, thanks, Liam with Grow with Liam. Look forward to speaking with you guys.